Come on in, grab a seat, make yourself comfy, and welcome to Fess Up and Clean the Mess Up for Kick the Lies to the Curb on what truly matters most. So, fessing up, we're going to walk through what it means. We've got to, number one, regulate our nervous system, our brain, and our body because they are totally dysregulated from what the truth is, our spirit, God, the almighty intelligence. So we've got to do some breathing, slow down, live slower. And when we can get this calmed down, our brain and our body, then we can recognize and realize we can start to see the truth coming. We can do the quiet time. Check out our video there explaining that, ask questions. And we need to be able to realize and see the truth and recognize the lies that we've been living. We always describe it as the lies, the unbeliefs that create the weeds, the consequences in our life, versus the beliefs, which are truth and wisdom, and they bring about the fruit of rewards, the beautiful flowers, the beautiful plants in our lives, the beautiful experiences. So we've got to recognize our wrongs, the lies, and we've got to admit and confess them in a very safe environment with healthy, wise people. This is very important. We have a world that is just blowing out of our mouths through that verbally, through videos, through messaging of all sorts. Check out our video of why texting personal matters is not wise. I get caught up in that, and it causes so many problems, so many issues. And so we've got to do this in a safe environment, and we've got to understand we're not meant to say everything. But going back to that fessing up, once we fess up, then we've got to go on to cleaning the mess up. And that is, after we admit it, we've got to say, hey, this is what I can do to right my wrongs. And, in Philemon in the Bible, it's like our consequences, it really varies. I know what consequences I go through. And sometimes it's, those consequences can be lessened or even removed, reverse the irreversible. God, the almighty intelligence that includes the universe and everything that is used, is able to reverse the irreversible, but we've got to do our part. It doesn't happen without us changing our beliefs and our behaviors. So this may feel very uncomfortable. This may be very icky. I say it may be smelly. It may be, it could take 20 years that it just keeps snowballing. Well, once you go into a garage, if it's got 20 years worth of all this stuff, you flip on the light switch, you admit it, you confess it, you say, hey, I'm going to face these elephants. I'm going to face what I've been avoiding and ignoring all this time. I'm going to deal with the elephants in my life, in our family, in our room, because family, as the image on here shows, we're all connected. We love to say that we're not, but we are. We're connected with people around the world. Our energy is affecting everyone. It is a responsibility of ours to a certain extent, and everything begins to shift. So once we flip on that light switch, then we see the mess and we go, oh my, cinnamon toast crunch, and it can make you cry, it can make you get angry. There are so many different, you can lash out. We got to do quiet time. As mentioned, we've got to slow down, turn off all the noise and distractions, technology, music, all the noise. And you can do this as a family, you can do this individually, and get a paper and a pen or pencil and stop and listen to your spirit that is in you, in every cell of our being. And it may not happen overnight, but you are going to start hearing that the truth and wisdom coming through. And that is from God, the almighty intelligence, infinite intelligence, whatever you name that, it is going to come through to you. There's no book, there's no video. Yeah, those things can wake us up, but ultimately it's within us. God is in every cell of our being. So that is where it comes from, or it's going to guide us to go here or to talk to this person or to watch this or to do this. But it ultimately has to start within us, because as long as you keep avoiding and ignoring, it will only snowball. The mess just gets bigger. And we either let it keep snowballing or we clean it up. And when we do our part, God, the almighty intelligence, the best AI there is always working 24/7 behind the scenes, on the scenes, behind the scenes, even while we sleep. God goes before us. The best AI there is goes before us, anywhere, anyone that we're going to interact with. Now, I've found when I pay attention to that and believe it and live it, I see it, I experience it. And when I forget that and I totally live from the opposite, doubts, insecurities, fears, temptations, which we call diffs, huh, anxiety, depression, fears, you name it, all this stuff comes running in, just rolling in, flooding in. And, you know, things happen better than we can even imagine when we trust, believe, and have faith. And I can have a challenging time with that. I can have a hard time with that. But when I do, it works. I'm telling you, it works. And what truly matters most, you've got to sit down and decide what does truly matter most to you. And when we have family members that are not willing to change, we have to still do our part. That doesn't mean, okay, I'm going to go slough off and sloth. And you know what? Why should I care? Well, I can't remember what a quote was today. Never apologize for acts of faith. So we've got to stand firm, like in Esther 1:11, and Esther and Mordecai, and we've got to stand firm with the truth and with wisdom, so that others, when they're having a hard time, we can be strong for them, and vice versa. And when others are not willing to, yes, we pray for them. We bless them with peace, with wisdom, with truth, but we also got to live it and show it in our own. We've got to be accountable, responsible, and we've got to have those high standards as God talks about, and non-negotiables and boundaries. And the boundaries are not meant to harm anyone. The boundaries are to help all of us. That's what they're there for. So going back to, we've got to fess up and clean the mess up. And, we either choose the low way, the school of hard knocks, the lies, the unbeliefs, or we choose the highway, the truth, the wisdom, the beliefs that produce the fruit that we all want. Like in our addiction series, addictions is not ever getting enough of what we do not want. We continuously get what we do not want. Well, we've got to change ourselves. We got to change our brain and our body, because our body is programmed. Watch the Do Not Take for Granted Your Body video explaining how everything works with our brain and our body and our spirit, and how we were made. Understanding that, knowing that, understanding it, so we can live differently. We can live what works. The laws are set. We can't change them. We can try. All it is we're going against them, and then it doesn't work well for anyone. It is win-lose or lose-lose. It is not win-win for everyone. And that is what we want. Win-win for everyone. What is best, most beneficial, the highest, the wisest for everyone. No one being left out. So connect with us. No one nor family shall do life alone. reach out. We'd love to hear from you. We appreciate you and we are thankful for you. Take care.